Hello everyone, this is Paul from Dintech here for another training session. Today we're going to be fitting off a Dintech Cat6a foil wrapped twisted pair keystone. We'll be using some Dintech Cat6 shielded foil wrapped twisted pair cable. Inside our kit we have our main connector body and we have a cable mounting cap. Okay, this is where the wires come in and they'll sit across here and they're placed into the main connector body and punched down. Okay, for this we'll need a knife and a good set of cutters. So the first thing to do is take our Cat6a twisted pair cable. We're going to use our knife just to score around the cable, come back about 60 or 70 mils. Don't dig the knife in too far. We just want to score the outer sheath enough so we can pull the sheath off. If we take the knife too far in, we'll start cutting into the shield on the outside, the braid, and then the braid will start coming away. We want to keep as much of that there as possible. Okay, so now we've stripped the outer sheath off. The next thing to do is pull this braiding down over the cable. That gets it out of the way so we can work on the actual wire pairs. Next we'll pull out the wire pairs, separate them away, and we'll just loosen up the foil on them. Another bit. And that one. Don't be too rough with the foil at this stage. If we're too rough it can break. We want to be cutting these off at specific lengths. So you can see we have our four colours: blue, orange, green and brown. If we have a look at the mounting cap, we can see that we're going to be doing either Cat6a, either 568A or 568B. We'll be doing 568B spec. Therefore our green pair is the first on this side and then the brown pair at the front. On this side we lead with the blue pair at the back and the orange pair at the front. You can see on the mounting cap there's a spreader bar across at the front here. This is where our brown and orange pairs, brown there, orange there, they'll fit underneath the spreader and come up. This is to separate them so they don't bunch up inside the keystone. So the first thing we want to do is separate the foils and cut them back to a specific length. The foils for the two pairs at the back, which is the green pair and the blue pair, need to be about 5 mils. We only want to leave about 5 mils of foil on there. For the ones at the front we're looking more at about 14 to 15 mil, because we want the foil to come through and underneath the spreader and be as close to the IDCs as possible without touching. So we'll start with our blue pair, which is sitting at the back. We'll take our cutters. We just want to give it a little bit of a nip, not too much, just enough to start pulling it away. You'll find that just a small little cut in it is enough for it to start coming away. The next one at the back is the green. Just give it a nick and tear it around. Okay, these two sit up the front, so we're going to give it about 14 to 15 mils. Lastly our orange. Just be very careful that you don't cut the wires themselves. Okay. I'll just twist those up. So taking the brown and the orange. Just move the blue out the way there. We'll feed the brown and the orange through. Make sure before you feed them through that the foil is nicely twisted up against the cable itself, or else it will have a hard time going through underneath the feeder there. So we'll just feed those in. Up they come. They should just squeeze through there. And then they come out through. We should be able to see them coming through the other side of the spreader. Yeah. And finally, we pull our other two wires up, and we'll start moving these and putting them across the wire holding pins there. This one comes back. If you're having trouble getting the wires to line up with the colours, it's better to put in an extra twist rather than to untwist it more. I'll twist that a bit more. Put that one over. And lastly, that one. Okay, so our wires are now sitting in place. Our next thing to do is to cut the wires off. So we'll get our cutters, cut them off, leave a couple of mils left after the spreaders. There and there. Okay, and that's ready now to put inside the main connector body. So we'll turn that around, just slot that in there. Should sit in there. And we close the lid down, push it into place, and you'll feel as the locks clip down at the back, it will push the wires down over the IDC, and that makes the termination inside the connector body. Lastly, we take our shield, move our shield back up. It should go underneath this shielding tab, and then lastly take our cable tie and tie it up.